John, good afternoon. Great to have you here in our podcast studio. Introduce yourself.
Well, thanks for having me. My name's John Chatmans. I am the CEO of Waterloo Capital, an Austin, Texas based RIA. We're thrilled that we're one of the fastest growing RIAs in the United States and excited to be on your podcast today. So thanks for having me.
It's such a pleasure. So tell me a little bit more about Waterloo Capital. What are you doing?
Well, initially, what we were building was an ultra high net worth boutique where we had institutional quality, public markets, private markets, and family office services. Along the way, our path deviated a little bit. About 7 years ago, a former colleague of mine called me and he told me that he had been diagnosed with a terminal illness and could he come on board as an advisor at Waterloo. And that wasn't our business model at the time. But of course, I said, of course you can, Craig. And from there, I had a few other former colleagues call me and say, hey, we love what you're building. We'd love to come on board as advisors. I brought them on board as well. And then we shifted. So today, as we said, we have a legacy client base. And then we have a platform where we support other advisors, helping them provide institutional quality asset management and advanced planning and family office services to their clientele. So that's really the primary focus of our business today, is helping other advisors grow their businesses.
So basically, you're the backbone of those advisors and you give them a lot of freedom, as I understand.
Yeah, that's correct. So advisors are, they run their business and how they see fit. And what we do is we give them world-class infrastructure so that they can service their clients at the highest possible level and go out and get new clients. A great example is this week. The largest retailer in the world, one of our advisors had an opportunity to bring on their chief marketing officer as a client. We worked together with them to build out the investment proposal, the trust and estate execution and design, if you will. And they were successful at bringing that new client in. So because of the infrastructure we gave this advisor, they're now working with, I think that turned out to be well into the 8-digit type of client. So our infrastructure can help advisors land clients of any size.
So basically, you help them grow. And that's also one of my questions I have. What is, in your opinion, the best way to grow the company?
Everybody, even on my own staff, they want to make these year-long goals, right? But I'm not into year-long goals because I think that you can get too focused on the end result versus the day-to-day execution. So what I do is I focus on what I need to do every day. And I feel like if I'm grinding and putting in super hard work every single day, that the end result will take care of itself. So I like to make, instead of macro level goals, I make micro goals. So for example, I have an assistant. She'll give me my list of everything that needs to happen in the day. And then one by one, I accomplish all of those goals. And then from a sales perspective, I've got a little jar. I keep about 20 paper clips in it. And every day when I'm doing something to help grow the business, I take one of those paper clips out and I set it on the side. So, and I don't leave until the jar is empty. And so I just, you have to kind of trick yourself into working sometimes when you don't feel like it. There's a difference between motivation and discipline. So I think if you're disciplined, even when those days when you're not super motivated, then you can still push through and still continue, do what you need to do to grow the business.
You are giving the advice, build systems and follow the systems and think of a way to give yourself every time with the paperclip. You give yourself a way that you get complimented, that you accomplished the goal, you tick the box.
You could call it a system. For me, it is, look, everybody, some days you come in and you just don't feel motivated, right? And, nobody's gung-ho 100% of the time, all day, every day. But you got to push through those times and you have to be disciplined in your approach. And so I think that being disciplined, having micro level daily goals, so you know what you need to do every day to accomplish your objective, and you have to do that. And there's no substitute for hard work. I've told my kids and colleagues many times, when you work hard. When you studied enough to make the grade that you needed to make on that exam. And you also know when you don't. You can feel it. You can't trick yourself. You may be able to trick others, but you cannot trick yourself.